But now it's like, if somebody tells you like, oh, I can't find it, I'm just Google image search and I got like,
pretty much.
Yeah.
I think like I miss that. I miss like the art of like the hunt.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what made like sneaker culture kind of like exclusive in a way. Like you kind of only knew where to get it, and whether you wanted to share it or not, like that was up to you. But I kind of miss that. Like I miss like not knowing where to find something and like doing my due diligence to try to find it. But I also like that we're like that it's becoming more inclusive, that you can find more things now.
Yeah.
So it's like twofolds for me. I do miss the gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Like I think it's good.
On record. Maiy misses gatekeeping.
Like,
what's good, everyone? Welcome back to My First Kicks. This is episode 228, and this week I bring to you another special guest. Welcome to the podcast, Maiy.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you. First, I got to say thank you for sending me these.
Oh, you're welcome. No, I know. Those were good.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were good. Hard to get, but good.
Yeah, really appreciate you. I sent you the video, right?
Yes.
Of me being like, oh my God, I can't believe you sent me these.
Yeah.
I did not post it. I will not post it because I was too flabbergasted and I sound absolutely crazy in it.
Oh, I'm just glad I was able to send you one.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Second, because I said this, do not hit her up. All right.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't.
Because I don't know. I'm always weird about that, like tagging somebody.
Yeah.
When somebody sends me something,
Yeah.
and I don't know if anybody. I feel like I've always seen it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. And
Yeah.
I'm always weird about it because I don't want to be the person. The reason why you're getting your DMs flooded by like,
Right.
can you please send me these? I saw these are coming out next week. Can I get these too?
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I do. So thank you. Thanks for not tagging me, but I do appreciate the shout out either way.
Well,
Because you
appreciate
did tag me a little bit.
Yeah.
You put me in there.
I appreciate you coming on. But for people who are not familiar with you, how about you introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Maiy. I have been working in the sneaker industry now for like 15 years and counting. I would say I never knew anything about sneakers. My very first job was Foot Locker, and that's really what started it all.
Yeah.
And I think once I learned more about like sneakers and just this whole culture, I was really locked in. Like I was like, this is something I definitely want to do long term. So yeah.
Nah, that's mad love. I know. So we met at Extra Butter. That was the
Yes.
first time we met, and I was like, oh, I love the dub taps. Like I'm such a big dub taps fan. And then that was like the conversation. I was like, I don't know how to say it. Is it dub taps or dub taps? Like, but then we ended up following each other, and you hit me up to pull up to the podcast. I was super honored because like, yeah, you've been in this for a hot minute.
A little while. I saw you as well at the Minted.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That too.
But I was like coming in, and I think you were like almost about to bounce.
Probably leaving. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. And because I came in late.
Okay.
And then Jason was there, and I was like, what's up, Jason? And I was hanging out with him, J Tips, and who's the owner of Minted? The brother?
I don't know. I don't know
forgot
their
his
names. But I definitely talked to him for a little bit, and I was so intrigued by their story.
Their story is very interesting. Like
Yeah.
like you never know when there's like, this is what I was telling my friend yesterday, because I had a conversation with him, because he feels like he doesn't know, like he helps people a lot.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know where his passion is.
Okay.
And so I was telling him, like, you kind of got to treat it like you're trying to find the ball of yarn that you're trying to pull your thread from.
Yeah.
Because once you start pulling on the thread, you'll see like, oh, this links to this and this links to that. Everybody has a different journey, and you don't know where it can go, but you do have to try to find which piece of yarn you're gonna pull.
Yeah. I think also like whatever you find yourself like being pulled to the most, like what like drives that passion.
Yeah.
I think that also is like kind of like a link to probably what you want to do and what like you put passion towards.
Yeah, but it's like telling people to pursue things.
I know.
It's
like it's easy because it's not like, so yeah, I know.
There's definitely a moment, I'm pretty sure I was working at GameStop telling somebody like, yeah, you should totally do that. And I'm over here miserable. Like
I do the same thing all the time. Like, yeah, follow your dream, please. I believe in you. And it's like, it's not that easy.
Yeah.
Right. So I totally get it.
But you're here to answer the question I ask everybody each week, and that question is, what's your first kicks? What's that first pair of sneakers you absolutely needed to have?
First pair that I absolutely needed to have, it was the Shadow one. So when I first started at Foot Locker, getting Jordans was super hard, especially in kid sizes. And I remember seeing like a photo of Kanye like in Paris wearing Royal ones. And he was literally wearing this like all black outfit with like a blazer and like some skinny jeans. And that was the first time I've ever seen like kicks really like styled in a way where it was like, I guess it was streetwear in that sense. And I didn't know that word at the time. And I was like, oh my God, like I want those. Like I want ones. Like how do I get a pair of ones? And it was so hard to get. Like I said, the Foot Locker that I worked at did not get like kid sizes.
Which Foot Locker did you work at?
Monmouth Mall in New Jersey. So it was a small little store. I used to always rotate between like Foot Action, Kids Foot Locker, and Foot Locker.
In that one mall?
In that one mall, yeah.
Like you worked in each one?
Yeah, because it was like one system.
Oh, okay.
And if they needed help, they would like be like, come help us. And I would always go because I was like, yeah, I want the commission, the little commission. It was like 2% at the time. It was so bad. But yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll work whatever. So yeah, it was like the year, I think the year was like 20, maybe like 13. And the Royals came out that year. And I think later the Shadows were coming out. And I was like, I don't know how to get a pair. Like in my head, I was just talking to everybody that I knew at the time, which was like the Foot Locker crew. And like the day of the launch, the stock guy, his name is Nakia, he came in and he had like a box in his hand and he gave me like my first pair of ones and it was the Shadows. And I was just like, wow. Like I was flabbergasted. No, literally, like it was a core memory for me.
That's mad love, though.
I know. I kept that pair. That pair was so bad from like a leather standpoint and like it was so creased and like it was so uncomfortable, but I kept it. I kept it all the way up until this year. I actually just let them go this year because they're not wearable. But yeah, it was a Shadow. Crazy. That was like the one that was like, I entered. I entered the game.
This was the bug.
Entered. Yeah.
This was your entry
it was the
point
one.
Where
it was a pair of ones and it happened to be the Shadow. And then later on I was able to, secure Royals and Breads and then But
so like I know now you're saying that you got the bug, but like what was like the next step? Were you like, all right, now I need to find out what this is all about?
Yeah.
So what was that?
It was Air Max. Yeah. So
did you hit up like forums? Were you just talking to people around you?
Oh, that. It was more social. Like I wasn't on any forums. But it was definitely a lot more social. I was definitely learning from all the people that kept coming into Foot Locker at the time because they were all like sneakerheads. Like and I didn't know anything. I didn't know the word sneakerhead. Like people collected like at that time we were like doing launches at 12 a.m.
Yeah, I miss those days.
I was
I miss those days. Midnight drops, man. Oh my God.
Right. Like that was crazy. Yeah. Like when you think
Sleeping
about it.
in the mall.
Crazy work. Seriously. Like who even told Foot Locker that they could do that? I just don't get it. But I was just, I think I was just like learning from everything. And I was always like looking up stuff on Nike and just like I think reading a lot. And I think that's kind of how I just like learned more and more about it. I was just like watching and like just taking all the info in and really like, just watching.
So like were people, look, I'm not going to make this like a gender thing, but like were people accepting of you very easily because you worked at Foot Locker? Or do you think it's like, your curiosity won them over?
I think it was both. I think like I know like it's definitely male dominated, but I think a lot of the males that I had met and talked to, I think they were like, oh, dope, like you like kicks. Like it was kind of like that. But it was still like an exclusivity thing. Like it was like, can you really sit here? Or like, can you really like make your way into this? And I think it was, at the time I didn't really pay attention to it, but now as I'm like older and I'm realizing like what it was, I'm like, it was like it's hard for girls out here to be in like the sneaker world and be taken seriously.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I recently had a conversation about it. I was sitting in on a conversation about it, and I don't know. I don't know. Everybody likes to throw the word gatekeeping around.
yeah.
But I also feel like there's no real way to gatekeep. Like before you could gatekeep.
Yeah.
Like if somebody came up to you and just like, yo, I like these. How'd you get these? I'm not telling you, bro. And then it's impossible. Like now you're just asking person after person after person. Like, yo, I saw somebody with these on.
Yeah.
You took a really bad picture on your Razor phone. You're like
Razor phone, yes.
You're like, I need to find these. And then but now it's like if somebody tells you like, oh, I can't find it, I'm just Google image search and I got like
pretty much.
Yeah.
I think like I miss that.
Mm-hmm.
I miss like the art of like the hunt.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what made like sneaker culture kind of like exclusive in a way. Like you kind of only knew where to get it and whether you wanted to share it or not, like that was up to you. But I kind of miss that. Like I miss like not knowing where to find something and like doing my due diligence to try to find it.
Mm-hmm.
But I also like that we're like that it's becoming more inclusive, that you can find more things now.
Yeah.
So it's like twofolds for me. I do miss the gatekeeping.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
On record. Maiy misses gatekeeping.
Like, you know, like it's nice sometimes, you know, like to be the only one that has something. But, you know, at the same time, like, yeah, everybody, you know, get a pair of what anybody has, I guess. Like, and I think StockX, like or stocks, however people say it. I think
StockX. I've never heard anybody call it stocks.
I don't know what it is.
It's StockX.
Is it? Okay. All right. Like, I don't know. I think I was actually at Foot Locker when somebody called it stocks.
Yeah.
And I've been unsure ever since, honestly. But yeah, I think
we could add that to the My First Kicks lore. You know?
You can ask. Yeah.
Like stocks.
Is it stocks or StockX? Oh my God, don't make me look like a loser.
No, you're good.
No,
but like, so now you're slowly traversing into, you know, Air Maxes and stuff like that. So like I'm so curious about finding sneaker culture because that's my thing right now. And this is something I was like on the ride here. I was just like, this year I'm really focusing on culture. You know, my previous guest, he's traveled the world and we talked about the different cultures. I mean, you've traveled a lot. You know, I always comment on your stories like, I wish I would go there. But my biggest thing is that I feel like in 2025, people don't understand what culture is. And they definitely 100,000% do not understand what sneaker culture is.
Yeah.
So like, tell me about the early days of like, you know, the Air Max days and what like we're partaking in finding about sneaker culture.
I hope you've been enjoying this episode with Maiy. And if you really have been enjoying it, please hit that subscribe button. The like button will definitely go like a really long way. And leave a comment, especially as you're watching this episode. Also, if you want to tap in and help out the podcast in a huge, huge way, subscribe to the Patreon. The link's in the description or right here. And we have 2 tiers. We've got a $3 tier and a $5 tier. Both tiers, you will get a shout out at the end of this episode. So stick around if you've already became a patron. I'm working to make sure we're making it a lot more robust at the $5 tier. So hit that Patreon, hit up the Patreon, actually, not hit that Patreon, hit up the Patreon. And I'll see you on Patreon.
I didn't know it was called sneaker culture then. That was the thing. Like
you're just in it.
And then I think what started happening, they started doing the trade shows, like all like the
sneaker pimps.
Yes. And what's the really big one where you like go like you trade, like you literally trade.
Dunk Exchange?
No. Well, yeah, there was Dunk Exchange, but what was it? I don't remember.
I mean, the OG Sneaker Con.
Yes, that's Sneaker Con.
The one at Basketball City?
Or in Philly. I think there was a Philly one. Yeah.
My bad. I'm New York centric.
Okay. I'm from Jersey, so we can go both ways, but mostly New York. But I think like at the time, I don't think I really like knew what like the culture was, but I think it was just knowing, like it was like the excitement of like the next drop, and like being a part of the conversation with peers, and just again like the art of the hunt. I think that was like one of the bigger things of sneaker culture for me at the time, is that I couldn't it wasn't easy for me to find what I was looking for, and it was hard and it was frustrating. But I worked at Foot Locker, so it was kind of easy for me as well. But it was really interesting, like just learning about like people and like the people that I was working with too, like the stock guy that I was mentioning, like he had over like 100 pairs of shoes at the time. It was way more than 100 as well. But like, I was like, what, you're collecting? Like, what is that? What is collecting? What does that even mean? So I think it was a lot of that. And I think that's how I learned about it, is like trying to find something. And then it's like, what does it mean? And like, what is it to this world? And then like later on, like a few years later, I learned, okay, like this is a culture. Like this is a huge movement of people that like all have this thing in common. And I think that's when I went to like my first sneaker con. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy.
And it's that, I'm pretty sure it was packed in there too.
Yeah.
Because this is when it was thriving.
Yeah,
like
100%. And people were actually like, they had like their used pairs. And I was like, whoa, people are like trading used pairs. Like that's crazy to me too. But it was very interesting. And then I learned about eBay and like people buying off eBay and like buying like worn shoes off eBay. But because they were grails, they were stocking them. Yeah. It was very interesting.
Now I gotta know, how'd you explain this to your parents?
Oh my gosh, that's such a funny question. My parents were like, you're using all your money on shoes and you're gonna regret it later. Like literally, like I know, but every Friday was a launch, right? And I think we got paid like at Foot Locker at the time. I think it was like every 2 weeks. And I would come home with a pair of shoes, and they would just be like, "You're not even wearing them." And I'd be like, "Yes, I am." I'm like, "Don't worry, I'm saving them, saving them." And my collection continued to grow. And they kind of just like let it be whatever. They just didn't get it. They were just like, what are you doing with all these shoes? Like,
are your parents immigrants?
Yeah.
Like yeah, how do you explain that to them?
You don't. You kind of just do it. Like there's no explaining. They don't get it. But they definitely get it now. But now I'm actually like selling a lot of my shoes and like getting rid of a lot. So they're kind of like, oh my God, like
she finally
yeah. And they're always like asking me like, is there anything that you want to give away? And I'm like, yeah, of course. But yeah, at the time it was, they didn't get it. And also like they came from Egypt and like very minimalistic people, like the day to day, like they just needed what they needed to survive. So for me, like buying shoes and like them seeing like I'm spending money on clothes and fashion and all these things, they're like, you're just throwing your money away right now. You're just throwing your money away right now. Yeah. So it was definitely like when I was growing up, it was, I mean, they weren't wrong, but it was also like it's my money.
It's also like, how can you, because like, both my parents are immigrants, but like my mom's Brazilian, my dad's Bengali, just for some clarity here. But like explaining this, because my dad left when I was younger, so like explaining it to my mom, she was like, are you gonna open up a store? Every single pair. Like I was only at like 5 pairs. Now she's like I'm like, oh, I think I'm at like 200. She's like, you gotta sell. You gotta sell all this stuff. I know.
My dad too. My dad asks me all the time, do you want to open up a store? Can we open up a store? Can we open up a store? And I'm like, no. But like I get it. I get why he asks, but I think he talks about it in like a general sense of like opening up like retail in general, because he's an immigrant and like, he wants to open up any business he can. But yeah.
Do you get to go back like to Egypt?
I've been back. The last time I was back was 2019. It's been a while. I'm dying to go back. Yeah, literally dying.
Never been, but it's got it.
You should go.
I mean, look, I'm trying to go everywhere.
Well, have you been to Brazil?
I've been to Brazil twice, but the last time, I'm trying to go next year. Which will be crazy because apparently I'm going to try to do podcasts out there too with
cool.
Brazilian people out there.
Wait, that's dope.
Yeah. So that's the whole plan. Yeah. And so like, but I've been there and it was at high school. Bad terms of like my aunt passing away. And, I'm sorry. Yeah. But like I haven't been there since.
Okay, so, you gotta go.
I have to go. My whole family's mad at me that I haven't. But it's just like, I don't know if this is something I feel like only immigrant children know, where it's like you how do I explain this? You work and it's like, oh, you need to be at work, or else you're not, like, the idea of taking a vacation.
I know.
It's like foreign for the
100%.
child of an immigrant.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I feel like my mom has always drilled into me, you got to be there, you got to do it, you got to do that. And then, you know, we're buying sneakers, we're buying clothes. We don't have money to be like, all right, I got $600 to take a flight, you know, like, and then because you're not going to get paid that week you're out of there.
Nope.
So it's like, how do you make this work? And then I don't know if you did family vacations like when you were younger.
Just to Egypt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, but that counts, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's because it's expensive. Like, when I looked up flights, I was like, how did my mom pay
for
$2,000 like to go both ways?
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, like, you're thinking like, okay, you're not staying in a hotel, you're staying with family. That at least cuts it down.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
But then you're like, we have to pack 3 suitcases of stuff.
We do for gifts.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You cannot go there without gifts.
Yeah.
You can't.
Uh-huh. So it's just like, I don't know how, it boggles my mind how she did it off of just like, because she worked in a hospital for 30, and by herself. And we had a house. We lived in a house. Like, I'm like, what?
How do you, for real?
Yeah.
I don't even think I could do that. Like, you know, and I, you know, on a salary that I have.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how they've done it. They are like, they fascinate me, truly. Like, my dad, my mom, like, they do fascinate. Like, they say immigrants are like hard workers for a reason. Like, they grind.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Because I'm curious, like, what did your parents do?
So in Egypt, they were lawyers, but when they came here, my dad was like very into this whole like American dream of like opening up his own business. So when we first came, he was doing a little bit of everything. And then he finally opened up a restaurant. So he's had that for a while. And then my mom
shout out the restaurant. We gotta get people in.
Oh my God, Cafe 28.
Hey. Pull up
in
pull
Ocean,
up
New
deep.
Jersey. Please go. It's Middle Eastern food. It's so good. And then my mom, she just did like a regular day job. But yeah, my dad never stopped working, like literally 7 days a week. Like no days off.
Yeah.
Like
that's
I was
crazy.
lucky for him to come to like graduation and stuff.
Did he pull up at least?
Yes,
oh, okay.
he did. Thank God. Right.
Because that would have been like,
I know.
But then it's also like they're previously lawyers, so it was like the debates in the house like crazy.
Oh, for sure, especially with my dad. But my mom says that me and my dad are so similar.
Yeah,
we're both so stubborn. But yeah,
I feel
lots
like
of debates.
Stubbornness. I don't know if it's inherent or it was just like the idea of proving somebody wrong, and you like. You want to like you own that of like
I don't know. I don't think it's inherent.
Yeah. It's definitely a learned trait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm stubborn as hell.
Are you?
Yeah.
I think I'm stubborn to an extent. I don't think I'm that stubborn.
I mean, I think see, I was stubborn. I was definitely stubborn when I was younger, like very, very stubborn. Like I'm gonna do it my way.
Yeah. Okay.
But when it comes now, like I'm okay being wrong.
Yeah.
But that's definitely like something I had to learn because for a hot minute I was like, nah, you don't know what the fuck you talk about. Like,
true.
yeah.
Okay, true. Yeah, I get that.
So like, you know, is that where your hustle comes from? Because, you know, 15 years in sneakers is not easy.
Yeah, it comes from my mom, I think. And obviously my dad, but mostly my mom. She like instilled and ingrained in my brain that, you know, I just need to be like a hard worker and I need to like, you know, find my way and like don't lean on anybody and just be independent. And because of her now, I'm independent. But yeah, she was really like, she definitely like pushed me. I got my first ever job when I was like 15.
Wow.
So it was like, that's all I did was work.
That's what I'm saying.
It's crazy. Literally, like, and then you have your family back home that don't like they work, but they're having a great time.
Yeah.
Like when I went to Egypt for the first time after like years of me, like when I moved to America, like they were just so happy.
Yeah.
Like they were genuinely happy people. And I'm like, wow, like people are happy here. Like, this is crazy. Like, I thought I was happy, but no, like that was a different type of happy. Like I was joyful, you know? But yeah, it was my mom for sure. And my dad too. Like, they helped me a lot, but mostly like my mom, she was like, you got to be independent. You got to find your way. You got to get a job. You got to get a job after college.
Yeah.
You got to go to college.
Yeah. Did you go to school specifically for like footwear?
No. I wanted to be in fashion.
Yeah.
Ultimately. So sneakers was kind of like at the time what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think sneakers was fashion. But then as I like grew and like learned more about like all the industries in a way, I was like, no, like sneakers is fashion.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's kind of like what led me to like being like, I want to make this a career.
Yeah.
But no, I studied journalism.
Oh. You should be interviewing me.
I know. I probably can. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at asking questions.
Hopefully I'm doing well.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. I haven't even thought about that in years. So yeah, you're good.
So like, so because of that, like, how did you translate that into, you know, footwear? Because like I'm assuming, not to assume, because it makes an ass out of you and me. But like, I'm assuming like Foot Locker was just the start, and then you went to school, you paid your way.
Mm-hmm.
So then how do you translate in a degree for journalism?
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'm still going to be in sneakers.
Very interesting. I can say when you put it like that. I was working at Foot Locker.
Mm-hmm.
I went to college and I kept my job at Foot Locker. I was an assistant manager before.
Mm-hmm.
I went into college and then I like kept my part-time. And then I wanted to like, I had always met people that worked in the office at Foot Locker when I was working in the stores. I didn't know how they got there, and I didn't know like what types of careers were up there. So it was like always in the back of my head, like, oh, maybe I could end up at Foot Locker corporate. Like maybe like that could be a thing for me if journalism doesn't work or if fashion doesn't work, whatever. And at the time I like got a couple internships while I was in school, and I realized that like I actually didn't really like the fashion world in a way. I think it was that world is very exclusive, very like, it was hard. I
know, like, because like I was very big into fashion to a certain point, and then I think I always credit Virgil for breaking down the barriers that were, because I've always heard, I mean, I used to hang around like FIT and stuff, and people would just look at like, or like when you would go to Soho, everybody's like
judgy.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to FIT. I wanted to go to school for fashion, and my parents were like, no. You're going to Rutgers. Like you're going to Rutgers with all the other Arabs. Like that's where you're going. That's it. And then that's why I chose journalism, because I was like, okay, well, if you're not going to let me study fashion, then I'm going to write.
Yeah, exactly.
About it. But yeah, like I got a couple internships. I interviewed at like a couple magazines, and I was just like, I don't like this at all. Like they're just. And at the time also, like I was wearing like the hijab, so I also looked very different than everybody, and it was very hard to kind of like break into like that industry, like looking totally different than everybody and not knowing anybody, not having any connect, so it was very hard. But yeah, so then I was like, okay, like, I got a job after college at an agency, but I still kept my Foot Locker job, and I was like, I really want to like work in the office. And that's when I started learning more about the opportunities in the office. And one day, like one of the girls that I think she still works at Foot Locker, she handed my resume to the recruiter, and there was a job opening, and I interviewed, and I got the job, and I got into corporate.
That journalism worked.
It did.
All that public speaking.
Listen, we got somewhere, right?
I do feel like, talking your way into the door is so hard to do.
It is. It's networking.
Yeah.
And the network is like, people know so many people now, but the way that you, I think, present yourself, or the way that you network, I think it makes or breaks a potential opportunity.
Yeah.
Like whether you're authentic about it or you're just using somebody, like people could tell.
Oh yeah, instantly. Yeah. The art of the elevator pitch. Like I remember I learned it like super early in my career, because I was trying to get into corporate America as fast as I could. Right. And so like the way of like, okay, you're in front, because like, I mean, I don't know if I think I feel like I told this on here, but like I used to work for Dylan's Candy Bar. I mean, Dylan Lauren.
Okay.
And so she brought me in front of Ralph Lauren.
Okay.
Because that's her dad.
Yeah.
And then like we had this conversation, but I was kind of like, damn, if I had the skills to like, where he would find interest in me within like a fast, like 5-minute conversation, 100%. My life would have been totally different than what it is now. Yeah. And so like I like would work on that. And then like in college, I learned the like, you know, the public speaking way of just being like, okay, you got to be concise and this and that. And like, but it does take skills. And I don't know if I feel like a lot of the people in 2025 are like coming out of not knowing how to do that. Cause everybody's like, can you help me? I'm like, you got to help yourself.
Yeah, definitely. I think it even works like, even when you're interviewing, like, and the recruiter is like, tell me about yourself. Yeah. Like that's your elevator pitch, essentially. Yeah. So it's like, what are you going to say in those first few sentences that isn't like, that is, you know, going to grab the person and like really be able to tell your story in like just those 3 sentences. It's big. So so I never mastered that at the time, but like now I've definitely like pretty much like figured it out. But when you're younger, it's definitely harder for you to like figure out what it is that you need and want to say in that moment, because it's that moment because you're shaking. Yeah. You're like, oh my God, like what do I say to this person? And you're just like blabbing and like nothing's coming out.
It's funny because like now we're living this world where I feel like everybody's pitching themselves to each other, but they're not doing it in a way where it's like when I met you, I mean, I'm pretty sure I gave you the like, this is what I do. This is the podcast. And like, I asked people, what's that first pair? And I use sneakers as a through line. Like, I'm like, I got it down so pat. And like, but like if my job, I'm just like, I'm, you know, I work in creatives. Yeah. I'm a project manager. Like I've like figured out how to like massage everything. Right. But yeah, it's hard. Like hearing these conversations now, it's just like, it's hard to listen to.
It is. I do think though, like the art of social media has definitely probably like, I think the generation now, like, I think they are way ahead of us in the sense of like knowing what to kind of expect because of social media and just how like you can get any type of information from the internet at this point.
Yeah, you can like prep yourself.
You can have ChatGPT do your elevator pitch. Like, so it's like, it's very interesting. I know you got to practice. I know.
You got to get in front of that mirror.
Exactly. Like, right. You know, high pitched voice. You got to be careful when you're like scared.
You're like, my name is
literally like, got to be careful. But yeah. No.
So like, what was the trajectory after? So you got into corporate. Yeah. And then.
So I was at Foot Locker up until. I was in corporate up until last year. Wow. Actually, yeah, I was there.
What roles were you able to?
The last role that I had was a buyer. So I entered as a replenishment analyst, which is kind of like a person that allocates whatever the buyers buy. Yeah. I got really good at knowing markets in that role, and I like really understood like just kind of like where things sell, which is huge. Yeah. Because like what sells in Atlanta or like what Atlanta people wear is not the same thing as what New York wears. Same thing as like Texas. So like little did I know that was like kind of like building me for like what I was going to do next. And then I had initially wanted to go into marketing. And I went after that pretty hard. But then I kind of learned what a buyer was. And I was like, wait, I love product. Like, like in the sense I wanted to do marketing, whereas like I wanted to like create the story behind the shoes. Yeah. Because I knew the shoes so well and I knew like where they came from that I wanted to create that storytelling moment like as a marketer. But then I was like, wait, but I can actually like have the say as to like what shoe I'm gonna bring in for Foot Locker for like the consumer. I was like, oh, that's dope. Yeah. So I basically like was like, no, never mind. Like I'm not gonna do marketing. I want to do product. I want to be a buyer. And at the time there was like I had a mentor there and she really like guided me to figuring out how I can get into being a buyer. And I just worked so hard. Like I interviewed for every associate buyer role that there was, even though I was not even close to becoming an associate buyer because there was levels.
Yeah.
I still interviewed for them. Like I was so hungry. Like I was like, I'm gonna be a buyer. Like you guys are gonna make this happen regardless. So just like, just know.
You're like, I'm persistent.
It's happening.
Yeah.
Like
you just
stop
delaying
saying
the
no.
inevitable.
Yeah. Like why are you saying no? Like, and I finally got a buyer. I got an associate buyer. So I worked in Kids Foot Locker as an associate buyer. I was doing mostly Nike at the time.
So it's by brand specifically?
Yeah. So at that time we were buying by brand. So when I got the job, I was basically under like Nike Jordan. So I was focused, like my responsibilities was fully focused on Nike Jordan. And then there was another buyer for the other brands. But at the time, Nike Jordan was a huge piece of the business.
Yeah.
And I was on kids. So that was money. Like that was just straight money. So it was really cool. Like, and I was very excited. Nike was where I wanted to end up. So like to work under Nike as like, a buyer for it. And I got to like see all the products that were coming in for the next seasons. And it was amazing. I mean, I was like excited.
Great. Yeah.
And then
getting to look into it and be like, oh, this is coming out.
Literally, like I was so excited, but it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
It was so much work. Like being a buyer is not easy. And I give it up to like all the buyers out there, all the retail buyers. Like they have a lot of work to do. Like it's not an easy job. It feels like it's a glamorous job because you work like with all the brands and like you see all the seasons coming up and like, you get all this like information and you're ahead of it. Like, what's coming.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like it's a lot of numbers. It's a lot of like long nights. So yeah, but I definitely like, I loved it. I love being a buyer. Like I thought it was really awesome.
Were you just like still copping heat and like wearing some crazy stuff into the office?
For sure. Always.
Yeah.
Like definitely.
What is the sneaker culture within Foot Locker?
It's kind of like all over the place. There's the people that have been in the industry for so long that still like believe in the collecting, like I'm not giving these up. I have, I got these Tiffany's at X, Y, and Z time and like all these things. And then there's the new schoolers, like the new crew that are kind of just buying whatever they like and they don't really like, they know it, but like they kind of just don't like, they've never had that history. And then there's people who are interested in what's going on. So they kind of buy what they like and what they see, but they don't really like know it like that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that are, I would say the Foot Locker office though carries heat.
Yeah.
Like
you walk in, you're like.
Yeah. It's definitely heat. I would say the best time in sneakers at Foot Locker in the office was like, I would say it was like 2018.
Yeah.
Like that was like the best time of like just straight, like people were just wearing straight heat.
Yeah.
And it wasn't all these running shoes everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, which is not a
mesh
bad
runners.
thing.
Yeah.
Like it was like mesh runners are dope. But like it was just a time where it was like everybody was like wearing like, grails. So
I know it's like my thing is just like, so I was the sneaker guy in corporate America. And I still am now in my current job. Everybody's just like, oh, there was one time at this previous agency that I was working at, I got highlighted as like, oh, this is the employee this is who we're highlighting in this month as like the employee of whatever, right? And then they wrote about this podcast and
cool.
And then like just my love for sneakers. Like it was about that. I'm walking through the office. And I just walk in there, like I just hear two people behind me and they go, yo, that's the sneaker guy. And I'm like,
love that for you.
I was embarrassed because I was wearing trash that day.
Were you?
Yeah, it was raining. I was wearing some beaters. So I was just like,
probably some Air Force One, black. Yeah.
And I was just like, God damn. And then I was like, that's pretty cool. But it's the whole like corporate America has changed, because I remember it was just like you got to come in with your Rockports or your Sebagos or whatever, and then now it's like I just go to the office and whatever. So
literally, everybody wears sneakers now. It's not even a question.
Yeah,
it's crazy how much it's changed. Like it really is.
Corporate culture is insane.
It's different. It's different. It's cool though.
Yeah. But I was just like, oh man, it's got to be crazy. Like it's got to be competition.
Oh, for sure.
But like, oh, you rocking those today? No. Especially at Foot Locker. It has to. You have to.
Yeah. No, for sure. I was always on that, like, I need to wear whatever I think is next thing. So like I would wear a lot of like the launches. And then once we finally got back into the office in like 2021, 2022, my like sneakers kind of shifted for me. Like what I wanted to wear definitely changed.
Yeah.
And I was very much into more of like the if you know, you know things. And that's when I started wearing like other things that like mostly a lot of people in the office like weren't wearing or like didn't gravitate to yet. Whereas everybody else would still wear like Jordans and everything like that, which...
Did people like stop you? Like you have like a story where you wore something and somebody was just like, all right, you're gonna have to come back here. Like, come back to this desk real quick. I gotta see these.
It's happened like a few times. I can't like pinpoint the time, but I definitely one time I wore actually like the J-Tips Saucony, and I don't think anybody knew like. Well, everybody knew what Saucony was, but nobody was like really paying attention to them.
The first one, the Gritazuras, those?
Like, the super like bright ones. Yes, the very first ones.
They're all very bright.
I know. They are. Facts. And I think somebody was like, oh, like what, like, not what are those, but like, what are those? And
imagine they hit you with the what are those? But God. It's like,
I know it's serious. I think. Yeah. And then like there was also a time where like not a time, but like UGG started doing like really, really cool stuff.
Yeah. They had the ones with like the different like colors on the bottom, those with like the slip or
but
whatever.
even like the UGG Tazes and all that, like that was all like kind of different. It wasn't really sneakers, it was like casual. So that was interesting. But yeah, there was definitely moments I just can't like 100% recall.
Do you enjoy, because you said you like being ahead. Do you enjoy putting people on other sneakers? Like, is there, because I have that thing, right? But that's me for music. Like I love putting people on a new music. Like, but my thing has always been like, I'm nervous in that, but I don't know if I like that nervousness of like, when you put somebody on something and you're just like, are they gonna like it? Or they're gonna find it whack? Like I don't know what if like you find pressure in that.
No, I do. I like putting people onto stuff that I like, whether they like it or not. I think is like up to them. But I like sharing. I think that's like one of my favorite things, and I think that's why I like buying so much. Is because like I got to kind of like share what I was thinking of like what I liked in terms of like what I thought the consumer would like. So I share all the time. Yeah. And then like then I'm always like, okay, like when I share something, I'm like, okay, like you make sure like, you know, like I try to still find things that not everybody is wearing at the same time. But I still buy what everybody else is wearing too.
I mean, look, this is fire. It's fire.
Yeah, no, and everything is everywhere. Yeah. So like, yeah.
But I think you have, ever since I first met you, and like your style is, you know, I think you mesh, you know, what you're able to wear, and like I don't know how to put it politely. I'm sorry.
It's okay, keep going.
Yes. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, but your style is absolutely flawless.
Oh,
like
thanks.
I think that like looking at your page, you always rock some crazy fits. I'm like, this is fire.
Thanks.
Yeah, but you know. How are you able to navigate it? Because you talk about fashion and being into fashion. This whole question made my brain hot. But how are you able to like maneuver and navigate?
Yeah, that's a good question. Thank you for the compliment. On the day-to-day, I'm usually just in black.
I mean, but
I love black.
But it's like, but you're. I think the art of layering.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I'm big on layering.
Yeah. And it's like every time I've ever seen you, I'm like, yo, that fit is crazy.
Thank you.
You know? So, and then, I mean, if you go to her page, you are
thank
fire.
you. Stop.
So,
thank you.
Yeah. I got to give praise where praise is due.
Thank you.
You know? So, yeah.
It's like been hard. I would say like, because I want to dress modest.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I still want to like put flair and like put emphasis on like certain pieces of like what I wear. So I think from like the time that I was first starting like in sneakers, I was definitely dressing way different than I am now. But I think my style comes from a lot of different inspirations.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now more than ever, I've started to dress a lot more like just baggier, bigger. I'll find like I'll do feminine things here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But because of like, you know, wearing the hijab and like being who I am really it's been like hard to find those pieces. And then when I do, I'm like, I got to wear them all the time because once I find a good piece, I'm like, I'm going to wear it all the time because it's like modest and it goes with the kicks or it goes with whatever I'm wearing at the time. And it just goes into my personal style. So I know like now when I'm shopping, I know exactly kind of what I'm looking for and what I want. And layering is huge for me.
Yeah.
Like layering for me is really big because I can't wear like tight things all the time. I can't wear like crop tops and that be my outfit with some big pants. Like I just can't do that.
Yeah.
So for me, I have to find other ways to like put stuff like that together. And it's been easier mostly because it has gotten like modesty has like become like a thing.
Yeah.
And people are wearing baggier clothes and like they make really good like men's fashion is amazing. Like I love going into the men's section and like just browsing and like I love men's clothes.
Cause like, sorry, this is like I'm trying to like I want to ask this question because this is the lead up to this question where it's like, you know, there's always been a connotation on, you know, how I don't know how to say, well, Arab women, you know, like I feel like the stereotyping and all that shit that we always see and you know, and you know, me also being as a brown person, like, you know, navigating that and seeing what like Arab women have to go through in terms of that. And it's like, it's really dope to see you like figure out a way to, you know, be yourself, you know, and also be fly as hell.
Oh, thanks.
Because that is also giving hope to, you know, and giving ideas.
For sure.
Of like,
I hope so.
Yeah. Giving like, because that is such like, unless you're like in Dubai, you know, like nobody's really sharing these kind of tips in America.
Right.
You know, when you are a brown person of color here, you know, there's like ways you have to navigate. You know, some people try to assimilate as fast as possible and, you know, try to like shed all their culture. And so like, you know, I just wanted to say that like, you know, you are dope and what you do is amazing.
I appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you. I think also like when you talk about like our own cultures, it was funny because like we talked about gatekeeping a little bit and I feel like like our culture is also ones to always gatekeep. So when I was like growing and like when I was like getting older and, you know, trying to navigate my way, like nobody really like told me like or shared or like helped me navigate what I was like entering. Everybody kind of was just like, oh, I had to figure it out. Like you kind of got to figure it out. For me now, like I mean I would love to like help anybody or anything, like, you know, because it's definitely hard out there. And
it's definitely hard for just like getting into fashion. You know, because like even when like Nike did the hijab, you know, they got like crazy weird like people were like, oh, I don't know if they should be doing that or
I know.
You know, like
it got like, really confrontational. Controversial. Yeah, there we go. Like I feel our world is definitely always up for like question marks and like if you see a girl wearing abaya, it's oh my god, like why is she wearing that? It's so hot out. Like all those clothes, all those layers. So it's like it's good to like, again, like the one thing about social media is like getting people like us out there and like, you know, hopefully people like see that there's inspiration of like that we're all doing it and like you can do it. Yeah, like there's a lot of dope like hijabis out there that are like killing it and like doing it with, you know, in fashion, doing it as influencers, doing it as like all these things, creators, like they're killing it and I love to see it.
Hell yeah.
And I always like want to put them on. I'm like, you know, I DM them all the time and I'm like, yo, send me your address. I'll send you shoes. I'll do whatever. Like,
let's go.
Yeah, like literally, like I feel it was because it wasn't easy like that. And like, you know, you just gotta like, I like to like give like whatever I have received, like in a way, like I feel like I want and I need to like give that back.
Yeah.
In a way, however that is.
Yeah.
So
I do think, especially when you're brown and into clothing, like there isn't a lot of like representation in terms of just like, because like if you go to like a panel or something like that, the same like 5 people are always going to be on the panel. There's always going to be there's going to be mostly black people and then a couple white people or a Spanish person.
And maybe not even a girl.
Yeah.
It
maybe not.
Straight men.
Just straight nothing but dudes, you know? So like it whenever you see somebody that is kind of like you, and this is why I'm saying this is because it's just like, you know, I recently had this conversation and it was just like, oh yeah, now there's starting to be a lot more representation of brown people and stuff like that. And like, it's cool, but I feel like the point that homie was making was like, oh, deli boys got big. So now it's like, now we're seeing a ton of people. And now I'm like, no, man, it's Bollywood has always been a thing, you know, like brown people have always been part of this. And like my previous guest, Ani Khan, we were talking about that of just like representation is just, I do have to accept both sides of myself and be present for both sides because I've been so absent from one since my dad left. So it's just like, just like trying to navigate it without like be curious about it because I've been not curious about it for so long. So because of that, and then doing this, like and you know, being a name in sneakers and stuff like that, I'm like, yo, there's got to be more of us out here into this. 100%. You know? So yeah, it's so awesome to meet like more people like that are, you know, within our culture that are doing the same things as us, and I love that. Like I love meeting more people and like just finding each other in a way where we have similarities. But yeah, I agree. Yeah, but being controversial, you know, recently that Hoka marketing ploy video was like, what was your involvement with that?
Actually, nothing. Yeah. So we have like a whole collab team that like shout out to them. They are killing it. Yeah.
No, these are dope. You showed.
Thanks.
I was like the bodega joints. Yeah.
Oh yes.
The bodega joints are fire too.
Yeah.
I mean, I still want those dub taps. I still need those.
Oh really?
Yeah, I gotta find those.
Yeah. I don't know where you would find those.
eBay probably. I gotta.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hoka has been a name for a very long time. Not a very long time. For a good a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like the rise of 2020 where it was just everywhere. Yeah. Everybody was wearing them. Yeah. You know? And so like, how did you end up in there? And then let's talk about that video too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I got my job at Hoka, I think a year and like a few months ago. It was networking. I was really ready for that next thing for myself. I loved being a buyer. Like I said, like it was awesome, but I knew that I wanted to do more. I would go to vendor meetings and I would, you know, give product feedback and tell them like, oh, I wish it had XYZ color, or like, you know, it would have been great if there was this. And I really wanted to like be on that side where like I can like make change happen. And so, yeah, it was like, you know, networking, kind of like understanding the layout of brand and what kind of roles are on the brand side. Cause I didn't really know. I only knew like what I worked with. So I always worked with sales reps or a planner on that side or the marketing team. I didn't know like the behind the scenes that was even further than that.
Yeah.
And I learned about like merchandising and I learned about the merch team and I was like, wait, I want to do this.
Yeah.
Like this is the ideal role. And for anybody who doesn't know like what merchandising is, because it's like it's so vast. Yeah. Like there's merchandising in the stores. Like there's visual merchandising. There's all types of different types of merchandising. So on the brand side, you're really like, you're kind of like looking at an entire line of products, and for whatever category and region that you work for or that you're under, it's your job to kind of assort for that region. So it's kind of like you're buying for the region that you have under you. And I was like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
So I was super interested in that after I I had talked to a few people to kind of just understand the role a little bit more. And a role popped up under the lifestyle team, and it was the first like lifestyle merchandising manager for Hoka. And at the time, like I was buying Hoka like as a buyer, and I loved the team. Like they were so dope. They were so fun to work with. They were very strategic in how they did everything, and I loved that. Like there was always a reason why it's either yes or it's a no. And I like structure. I'm very much a person that likes structure.
Yeah.
So I knew that they weren't doing things just because they wanted to be liked. I knew they were doing things because there was a process, and that, you know, this is how they wanted to grow. And yeah, a role opened up. I applied, and I was just super interested. Like I interviewed with a few people, multiple people actually. And yeah, like I was super like, I couldn't believe that I like got the offer, honestly. But I definitely like prayed for it. Like I was ready like for something new.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to figure out what that next thing was. And like for me too, it was like at that time, like before I had left, I was at Foot Locker at that, like from that moment when I was thinking about it, like I was in the office for like 8 years. So I was like, dang, like at Foot Locker for so long, like what's next for me type thing. It was kind of just like, what am I going to do next? Like, am I going to like, do I want to move up in this role? Do I want to venture out and figure out something else? And it was really like, I really wanted to get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was surreal, like getting that job offer.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, okay. I was like, wow, this is really happening.
So like, you know, you talk about lifestyle merchandising. So like, how does that play into marketing as well?
Oh, so we are such a tight-knit team.
Yeah.
We are a very small team. I will tell you that. So I work with my marketing counterparts all the time, and they're awesome to work with because they're also super like collaborative. Like that you would work with people like, and they would not be collaborative at all. And like, this is like my thing. This is like my job. Like, don't touch. No, like on my team, like everybody is super collaborative. Everybody wants to like hear everybody's thoughts, like, and we all kind of like come to a consensus together. But yeah, I work very closely with the marketing team, and it's really nice because like I always wanted to do marketing also like in the back of my head. So it was like, this role like puts me in a position where like I'm able to like flex. And be able to like help out in areas that like I wouldn't have been able to otherwise. So I like that. And then I also get to work with the product team a little bit, like global merchandising. Like it's awesome. So it's good.
So now y'all calling out all the other brands.
I mean, hey, we said what we said. I don't know. Like,
but we're towards the end of the podcast. And the last question I have deals with a little visualization. I want you to think back to when you were about to get those the shadow ones, right? Now you travel back in time behind yourself. What would you tell your younger self as they open that box?
Oh my gosh. I would just say you're about to be so excited. like you're about to this is about to make your day.
Yeah. Like
for sure.
Yeah. That, I mean, look, it's a legendary moment for you.
It was, for me, it was a core memory.
Yeah.
Hands down.
They do a shadow. Well, actually, did you get what do you think about the Chicago Union / Shadows? And would you do those?
No.
Or like the reverse?
I wouldn't. No.
You just need shadows?
I just needed, yeah. Or just, just breads or just Chicago's. Yeah. Like I was good with that. Like it was all good. Yeah.
You still cop ones? No.
The last ones that I copped were I'm trying to remember what came first. I think it was somewhere in between There was a green women's one that came out in like 2021, 2020 maybe. They were like green with like sail. They were like, I love them. I still have them. And then I got those 85 like all white Jordan ones, like the highs. But
no Virgils for you at the end of the end of this year.
Well, if I can get lucky, I would love a pair.
You tapped in?
I don't know if I'm tapped in on the Nikes. Like Nike's tough. Like, I would love a pair of those for sure. Yeah, that would be like that would be the first.
See if your old Foot Locker email is still active.
I mean, honestly, I'm still friends with everybody that I used to work with on all the brands. So I don't know. I gotta see. I do want a pair though. I do. I would buy that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there? I don't know if you're able to say. Is there like a pair, or just even say? Is there a pair of Hokas that are coming out that you're so excited to see?
Oh my God. Wait, excited to see like when I first saw them?
No, like coming out.
Coming out soon?
Yeah.
Yes, there's a shoe coming out in October that I'm super excited about. Yeah. All right. That's all I'll give you.
October.
Yeah.
Because I'm probably gonna repost that joint.
You should.
Just send it to me.
I will.
Send me the post so I know.
Yeah.
But everybody would know where to find you.
Like my Instagram?
Yeah, whatever you want to plug. This is your plug time.
I mean, you can find me at Maiy, like on Instagram.
That's two Ys.
No, it's like 3.
3 Ys.
There's like 3 Ys in the first and then 2 at the end. Yeah.
And then, I mean, LinkedIn. You don't want to?
Yes, you can find me LinkedIn.
If you find
my full name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you find it.
You'll find it. I'm there. Yeah, you'll find it.
Do not hit Maiy for
no.
This double disclaimer: do not hit Maiy up for free sneakers. It's not happening.
Yeah, actually don't, because I can't even really do it.
Yeah.
Like I low key can't. Like so yeah, don't. It will be a disappointment.
You know where to find me. I am Who Is Haas on all social medias. Follow the podcast at My First Kicks Pod. If you have a story, hit me up. info@myfirstkicks.com. Support the Patreon. Just started it up, trying to get more people to pay and help me out here as I expand. I don't know if I should be saying it straight up like that.
It's
like
okay.
Pay me, please.
Just be straight up. Yeah, all good.
Merch still, cop a t-shirt if you can. D's not here, but if you are, they just announced Oxymorons are doing a second tour towards August to October. Very fire. Go check them out live. And you know what we say each week? Wear your kicks. Peace.
Thanks for sticking around and catching the end of my episode with Maiy. Of course, as I promised, Patreon shout outs. Shout out to Ross Adams, to Derek. Shout out Derek, Fresh Poetic. He was one of my, he was technically my second podcast host when I started my second podcast. And also Adam Neustadt, like I said last week, he started this off. So I'm trying to make sure this Patreon is really, really a thing. You can be part of it by signing up for the Patreon. We got 2 tiers, like I said earlier in this episode, $3 tier, $5 tier. Hopefully should be rolling merch out on there as well to make it a little bit easier. I'm going to be putting the first 10 episodes, which are not on any DSP. It's going to only live on the My First Kicks Patreon. I'm also going to give a lot more, behind the scenes in there, which I'll sprinkle throughout the YouTube as well. And I will be, putting my thoughts on here, get a little bit more writing and newsletters going out every month about what I've experienced, the events I've been able to go to. Hopefully I can also add in some pictures and videos that will help make this a lot more robust and help also make the patrons, make the patrons a lot more immersive in, the current sneaker world and what I've been able to experience. I've got a trip to Portland coming up in August that has been talked about. That will be included in only Patreon. The only place you will find it is in the Patreon, and I will obviously talk about it on an episode. Maybe we'll record an episode out there. But I'm really looking to rely on, you to help me, kind of build this out a little bit more. So if you do have suggestions and you want to tap in and help me out and, want to see more, please write an email. There's going to be a suggestion box on Patreon for more things. I'll survey once we get over 10 patrons. Also announcing once we hit 10 patrons, I'm fumbling over this world. Once we hit 10 patrons, I'm going to do a special episode with a special guest, a previous guest. It's going to be like this, online only, just for the patrons. And hopefully every 10 patrons, I will put an extra episode up on just for y'all that you can only see on Patreon. So please subscribe, $5, $3, different tiers. And, wear your kicks, of course. So if you haven't, and this is your first time checking out this episode or any of the episodes of this podcast, check out these videos here at the end of the Sense Slate.